Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Hector Camacho Jr. What's up,
Macho time.
man?
Macho time. Everything
But
good, Bill,
no.
man. Glad to be on, brother.
Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on my show.
Yeah.
Definitely. Before we get started, man, your father was an absolute legend. I want to tell you my sincere condolences to you and your family for the loss of your father.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. He touched a lot of lives. And what
Yeah,
he left behind was a beautiful thing. It's still macho time. I appreciate
always.
that, brother.
It's
Appreciate that.
always. So, do you want to tell the people where you were born and raised?
Well, from Spanish Harlem, New York City. I was raised in New York. My actually career didn't take off. So I moved to Orlando, Florida, about 14 years old. I went to high school. But then through my pro career, I moved off to Puerto Rico, and that's how I ended my career.
Yeah.
So a little back and forth. The blessings of boxing that you travel, you enjoy life, and get ready for this what you call war boxing fight. So yeah, I've been
Yeah.
blessed moving around. I'm
What
born
was
New
it like
Yorker.
when you were born, right? You were born into this celebrity lifestyle. Your father was pretty big in the world of boxing and he had a lot of people around him. So, what was it like to be born into that lifestyle?
You know what? Looking back at it, man, it was quite unique. I remember growing up, man, and just being raised, and I was at, people out of nowhere just pointing, let's come out your son. Can I take a picture? I remember that kind of attention early in my life, which it was cool, but it wasn't cool, to a certain extent. But yeah, it was different. It was different.
Do you ever remember any times where anyone approached you and your father kind of spazzed out on him or anything like that?
I seen him spaz out a bunch of times. But as far as towards him, no. When I used to get picked up every time when he's not around, it was those type of elements. But no, 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 no.
So, was it constant travel and things like that for you?
Growing up, it was a mix. I was from Spanish Harlem. I was for me it was it was a different world because I get pointed down. I was young coming up, but I was still in the hood. My father like the superhero. I come around when he's around. It was love and joy. Then he take off. I'll see him on TV. So it was one of those type of situations. It wasn't regular dad that would stay at home. At that time, my father and mother separated. My father always be around. So
Yeah.
it's one of those type of relationships with growing up. And it was rough because it comes to a time you to get bullied, you to get forced to fight. Or you come out your son, you can't fight. So I just like people not know who I was. And it was
Yeah.
like that for a little bit until 1985 when my father fought Rosario at Madison Square Garden. I was about 8 years old. I went inside the ring. I was about like 10. I went inside the ring and did a flurry. My father picked me up and the Madison Square Garden went crazy. Then from that I went back to school. I was just I was a celebrity. It was cool, but it wasn't cool. I
Yeah.
get picked on. It was a different lifestyle, man. It was very different. People might think it was gold, but no, it wasn't. I mean, I just see my father on TV. They tell me that's your father. So why you living here in the projects? That ain't your father. It was one of those type of growing up situation. Yeah, that's my father's money. That's what he was doing. That's what kind of relationship it was to a certain age.
Do you have any resentment for your father for not taking you out of that environment?
When I was young, I grew up with that. It got to a point where we moved out of where we lived at 112 Second Avenue. We moved to basically the West Side, Madison Avenue, and we moved to that building. My mother told me, you didn't tell nobody who your father is. Tell your name is Louis Hector. Don't say your name is Hector. And we kept that front for about 3 years until people started knowing who I was. And that was cool. But during those 3 years, I had resentment. Cause shit, my father, a big fight. I didn't understand. As I got older, that relationship grew as I became a fighter. When I
Yeah.
moved to Orlando, Florida, When we finished school in New York, my father fought Chavez. That's one of his biggest fights. So he gave me, my family gifted us with, with the house. We moved to Florida. When we was in Florida,
Well,
we started growing together. Got started boxing. So it wasn't like New York City. When you was in New York, we had different leagues, basketball league, baseball leagues. I didn't want to become a boxer. I like the pelota. I want to become Pepe Clemente. I love baseball. And to keep
yeah,
me out of
yeah,
trouble, that was Camacho's son. My family kept me in the boys' club, kept me off the streets. So I was good at sports. I never had no idea of becoming a boxer until I moved to Orlando, Florida. And my mother said, "Son, you can't come out of school and stay home and do nothing." She forced me to go into boxing. So I started boxing in 1994, amateur. I did an amateur record of 59 wins, 2 losses. I was the number one fighter in the nation, the whole United States, going to Olympic trials. And during those eras, that's when me and my father sort of clicked. I thought, had an image who I wanted to be. Started going to his boxing camps and being together. We had something in common. So it became more of a son, father, brother type of love. My father's still young. He had me at the age
yeah.
of 15 years old. So it's a young difference.
When
That's what boxing came along. But yeah, my father, the love we have for each other, man. Like, to this day, sometimes I just think about the good. But I have to, go back and think about the horrors, of what
yeah,
happened, and but the legacy left behind for everybody. I'm thankful to the people. To this day, anywhere I go to this day, somebody will stop me. Oh, I want to cry on me to my pa. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that, man. I appreciate the
yeah.
love. It's only different, but I appreciate the love, man.
When I was researching your family history and everything, I was like inspired by the story. It was like very heartwarming story. And then at the end, for a
Mm-hmm.
tragedy to happen, it was like, damn, like it's like, why did it have to end like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. When it comes down to those type of situations, man, it's the environment. I remember, like, I was with my father like 3 months prior to the incident, and I was there training with him. I just couldn't take it no more, man. He was out of control. It got to the point I couldn't take it. So we left training camp. My wife was pregnant at that time. We was expecting my second child, my baby. So we left. I remember me telling him, "Pops, man, be careful out here, man. These young boys don't care. They don't they don't know who you are. They bugging. We can Puerto Rico talk." I remember just the lifestyle that comes along with the territory of the lifestyle he lived.
Yeah.
He was a people person. He was out there. That never left him.
Yeah, he wanted to be around people. I remember watching the interview with him. He's in the ring and he just said, "I just want a friend. Like, I just want somebody there for me." And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, man, he's got all these people around him and he just wants a friend instead of people asking for handouts and all these people around that are wanting something from him, you know?
People won't understand that when you're on that side of the fence. People will never understand that. They wouldn't
Yeah.
comprehend the meaning of that. Of course, it looks good on the other side of the fence, gold, but a lot comes along with that territory.
Yeah.
Um, he lived his life. It was macho time. He lived his life to the fullest, and that we can't take away from young. He accomplished his goal. His mission was to become a world champion, take his mother out the projects. That was his mission. He loved his mama. Um, Came out of nothing, no schooling, on the streets, went barrio, survived, had a dream, accomplished it. A lot of hard work into that. He was different. He
Yeah.
was special.
Definitely, man. Do you remember your
I thought
first
he
fight,
was.
first professional fight?
Oh hell yeah! I remember it. Yeah, yeah. My first fight was on my father's show. I fought on USA Boxing TV, USA Network, Tuesday night fights. My father was the main event. I was the co-main event. So before the fight, my father's talking that shit to me. He telling me, "But you better win." Now people watching. He put that pressure on me. I remember we were going to the ring. I got the victory. In the first fight, I caught a headbutt, but I fought a fighter called Lou Martinez. He had like 13 fights. I believe he was 8-5, if I'm not mistaken. on my first debut, and I won 4 rounds that decision on TV. So I definitely remember that. Yeah,
After you win, what was your father's reaction after you get out of the ring and everything?
the respect. But leading up to that time, as an amateur boxer, my way to Olympics, there were times my father would call me up. Hey, I got a friend out here in Miami, Chico. His name was Chico. He got a boxing show. How much you weigh? I'm like 140. Come down, I got your fight. He just test me. He's to test me. That's a pass no testers. But he knew what it was. But after my first pro debut, he congratulated me, and we kept on.
And when he congratulated you, did you feel that connection with him? Like,
Oh
yeah,
hell
like
yeah,
we're here.
hell
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It was pure. It was pure. We formed the same show. I think 3 times in our career. My goal coming up was never to become 4-time world champion, not even 1-time world champion. My goal in boxing was to be known for me, Hector Camacho Jr. From young, I get by please. From young, I used to get pointed at. Oh, that's Camacho's son. Now that's Hector. That's Hector Jr. His father, Hector Camacho. It was always that's Camacho's son. So I always wanted to prove that I'm me, and that was my goal in boxing. And like I said, we fought 3 times on the same show. But my 3-time world championship came, my father fought on my undercard on HBO KO Nation. I was mainly there. My father fought on my show, and my uncle fought. So definitely that was my goal in boxing, for myself. I feel like I accomplished that in boxing. Boxing is a beautiful sport, but it's an ugly business. Terrible business, dirty business.
Yeah.
As you know, like 90% of fighters retire broke, no matter how much money you make in boxing, just so happen about most of the chunks make, retire with no money. So, but when it comes
Did he
down to
have a
that, that was
problem
my
with Don
goal.
King?
Huh?
Yeah. Did he have a problem with Don King, or did you have a problem with him in the promotions?
I remember coming up my father's career, seeing moves he make, asking him a lot of questions. Every time with my father, he spent time to ask a lot of questions. I just was curious, wanting to know about the business, coming up. I remember the moves he make. He would share some things with me. When it comes to Don King and people like that, it's hard to call those kind of things because whoever was under Don King used to start making money, made a lot of money. Like I said, it's a rough business. What you do with your money, what you do with your money. It's a rough business. You can't
Yeah.
trust nobody. You got managers take money from fighters as well. And fighters pay taxes. Forget about that. And a lot of things they go through in life that fighters don't know because we come from the bottom. We're not educated. You don't need no college degree to become a professional boxer. So it's a
Yeah.
poor man's sport. But when it comes to Don King, he had little altercations a little bit every here and there with Don. My father had it with anybody who loved him wrong. If
What?
you treat him well, he love you. He treated everybody like a brother, unless you cross him.
Yeah. So, is there any situations with your time with your father that really stand out in your mind? Like
Oh
that
man,
really stand out when you were together and maybe a situation happened and you're like, I remember that time.
I got millions of stories. By the way, we working on something big when it comes down to that. Millions of stories. A lot of things sticks out. Boxing or in life in general. Um, Something that sticks out why I don't stop to this day. It got a lot to do with my mother. My mother also is a fighter in life.
God bless
Remember a
her,
time.
man.
Remember my father was down. He just lost, I believe, the Trinidad fight. He was down. It was towards the end of his career. He was getting old. He lost to Trinidad. He was on parole. We got a parole. He was getting off parole jail, whatever not. So most of his money went to taxes during that time. He told me he came in the room, we were talking. He said, "Don't worry, I'll get myself back." And he named me 3 fights that he was trying to get. And he told me Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard, Oscar de la Hoya. And he named them. We were in the hotel. And just so happened a couple of years later, that's exactly what happened. And That's something that sticks out amazing. I mean, no matter what where you down in life, believe in yourself. Keep pushing. So that
Yeah,
always
man.
sticks out. And
Yeah.
something else. So to this, but I got my tails. I got gel on my hair. I got my tail. I keep this alive. I don't like this at all, but I do it for him to remind myself. To remind myself. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
macho time. Keep pushing.
That's awesome, man. I love that. I love to hear that. And I
I don't
think the
like it.
people,
I don't like it, but I do it to remind myself in life. We came from nothing. That's the American dream. When you talk about Hector Macho Camacho, you talk about a Puerto Rican American person that was born in Puerto Rico, was taken out of Puerto Rico at the age of 4 to 6, was raised in New York City, came out the projects from gang, drug infested neighborhood, made it, became a professional fighter, accomplished his dream, made it to the White House to meet President Reagan. That's the American dream. I mean, this is a guy that touched millions of lives. So I keep telling you, remind myself how great he was, and anything could be possible.
definitely, man. So, can you tell me one thing about yourself that people would be surprised to know?
Ooh, that's a good one. There's a lot of things. I'm to start off, I'm not much of a partier. That can be who I am and what I've seen in my life, how I was raised. Um, Another one, people might not know I'm a Muslim. I converted to Islam. Um, there's a lot of people might not know about me. But one thing I want people to know, I got a big heart and I love to help out. We came from the bottom and I believe it's possible. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen so far my hero, Macho Camacho, at his highest point was stop. I seen him stopping at light and argue with a homeless guy about some money that he gave them a couple of days ago for him, and he spent all the money and he threw in the street asking for money. I seen him spend his time arguing with somebody in the street, humble himself to the bottom, and I've seen that. So a far big heart and giving back is something I have in me is a big heart, people I know. So I got the Macho Foundation because of that. Want to help
Yeah.
back, give back, and believe anything possible. If any neighborhood you go to, most of the great fighters or the artistic people come from the bottom. It's gold, give back. So
Yeah, man. So, when the situation with your father happened, when he passed away, do you remember when you found out that news and what was going through your head when you found out? Can you explain to me that process of what happened?
um 1 second. I was in Kansas training for a fight. And I remember coming out the gym and my wife picking me up and she was crying. So she had tears. So what happened? I said, your father. And I said, what happened? I said, what's going on? I said, hold on, give me a second, I'll tell you. I said, my father? She said, yeah. I said, they killed him? Like I knew it, I felt it. And she's, as a witness, something we share always. I remember coming out the gym, and I just knew. It was just like, she told me, yeah. I remember going home on the news everywhere, and that just, yeah.
I lost my father too, man, in an accident. He drowned on the Mississippi River in 2008. Crushed
Ooh,
me. Yeah.
ooh. So, yeah, man, and when I talk about Pops, I like to always talk on the positive notes what he left behind. Because the
Yeah.
legacy left behind for myself and for others that we keep pushing every day. Anything's possible is big. But that's life. And it
It
just so
is.
happened during that time, that's why my faith is big. I was reading things, verses in the Quran, Bible, and it says, from God we come from God is our return. And what you leave behind your deeds. He was a good man. So I remember during that time I was going through that. So when that hit me, I was kind of numb, but my trust was in God, specific my belief.
Yeah.
Good person, good life, but that's life we live in.
Definitely, man. Now, with this situation happening in Puerto Rico and him being the person that he was and the attention he had, was it I know it had to be frustrating to you that the person wasn't caught right away, and they were out for what, 10 years before they got caught.
I dislocated myself from the whole case when it started. It's not so much dumb who did it. It just I can't blame nobody. I could blame the streets. That's the only, those kind of things happen. Was it for him? Was it for him? You know, it just
Yeah,
those that happen in that kind of environment and life that you live in. You know, you can't blame this particular person. What are we going to do? Put him in jail? My father's gone. There's no way him coming back. You know, that's why just put him in jail. You know, just so I just sort of disconnect myself from the case because at first when they couldn't find the suspect, they let them go. I said, here we go, here we go. And I did my investigation, of course. You know, I had to do my research, and a lot of cases don't come up. You know, just to come up missing. Nobody knows what happened, and just what happened. Recently, I heard they had a case in Puerto Rico. My father's kid, they caught the shooters, and they let them go again. And then I heard they locked in for something else. So I don't know. I really don't. You know, I just located myself. You know, he's gone, and my job is to keep pushing forward.
yeah, man. Just like the situation with my father, he was missing for 40 days, and they found his body. Thank God,
Mm-hmm.
because he could have been missing forever, and I could have been wondering what happened to him. You know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that brings me to my next question, which is about the foundation that you promote, which is Guns Down, Gloves Up. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, the Macho Foundation is something that something I've always had in me. It really started off when I went to Panama, my wife's country. I got married. I went moved to Panama. I was living out there in my wife's country, and I just realized how people out there struggle just to get by. You know what I'm saying? Just to get by in life, and nonetheless put them in a sport and have them go forward. So me, if special thanks to boxing, I traveled the world. I've seen a lot of things, and I love to get back to the youth. You know, they just need a pushing hand. They don't have role models, and I try to give back. Like every time I go back to New York City, go to the hood, I always like to give back, give them positive words. I even put a team in a stickball league. You know, so sports is something that saved my life, saved my father's life. And you never know. You can go to the boxing hood. You know, people love boxing. You can look at the next Macho Camacho in the corner. You can look at the next Floyd Mayweather. That shit go and let him. They just need that pushing hand, that help. Um, we grew up from the bottom where it's just one single parent household, just the mother. You know, most of the time the father's out of the equation, and they don't have that help, man. You know, so
Yeah.
my foundation was geared to that, to give a helping hand in the sports activity into boxing, which is something that saved our lives and helped me accomplish things I accomplished in life. And I wanted to share that and give back to the kids. So my foundation is about giving back.
I'm definitely gonna be promoting that for you, and try to get as many people to donate as they can. And
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of people connections with different gyms across the country, and I'm gonna put it in
Yeah.
the right hands. And
No, of course, of
what
course.
are the plans for
I'm
your
all,
future with business and everything?
well, I'm always trying to look for the next big thing. I don't know really crypto or what, but I'm always flowing around trying to find things. I'm a kind of guy that's spontaneous. You know, I like to move when I see an opportunity. I go get it. Opportunities don't come often in life. You know, you could pass up on them or miss the next one, or you never know when the next one will come. So I explored that. I went to Dominican Republic. I rested a little bit in a bar and grill. I got one of those going on. I rested in the cannabis business, which I have my own line. Macho Time Cannabis, which we pushing now. But it's more educational purpose to help others out with the oils and the edibles, et cetera, with the flower. The benefits of cannabis. And I'm looking out to invest in the youth, man, 'cause they're the future. This world's kind of crazy. So I got my hands a little bit in everything. I do have my boxing promotion license. The Dominican Republic. I did my first show not so long ago. So I'm constantly moving. I'm constantly moving with
Yeah,
everything. I
you
might
do
try. I might try the acting
appearances.
now. I might try Hollywood and see what it brings me. So it's all about keeping. It's all about moving forward, pushing,
Yeah.
pushing, pushing in life. And one door's closed, look the other.
Positive vibes, man. Motto
No, that's
time,
what
bro.
life's about, man. Give thanks and be thankful upon everything, man. Be thankful, you know. I go to these countries, man, and shit. They don't have no EBTs. They don't have no government help. Like, if you don't hustle, you don't eat. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I'm just thankful in life as itself, you know. Things have to work
yeah,
plain as course. You know, you're a good person, good come back to you. You out there looking just, let me go ahead and jerk this person, let me go ahead and do this one, let me get over on this one. And that's just what you bring it back to yourself.
you're 100% right, man. So this is my one of my last questions. Um, can you tell me, because a lot of people that are not involved with the boxing sport, they don't know about registered hands and what that means.
That means you can't go ahead and just go ahead and knock somebody out. Your hands a license. You can't just go ahead and start trouble, you know. But there's a law to self-defense, you know, and it plays, different parts. But if there's money, there's a way to go over it, certain things. Um, I would say I'm not here to bother nobody. If it's something to do that my family, there's another question. There's another story. But as fighters, we're not here to fight in the street. I'll tell the youth, the kids I work with. Let me teach you something. I'm gonna teach something out now. Something I want to teach you some weapons. I don't want to hear you going to school and beating people up in school. I don't want to hear that. I'm not here to teach you that. But you gotta remind people. It's not to beat people up. It's a sport. It's a craft. It's an art.
Yeah,
You got knuckleheads. Is it worth you? You know what I'm saying? That's just something you gotta decide. But it's definitely art. It's a
yeah,
craft.
yeah. But so your hands can't be licensed, right? Just if you're a fighter, you can get into extra trouble because you have that skill. Is that right?
If you're a knucklehead, yeah. I mean, you can't punch somebody. You can slap somebody, and you slap hard enough, and it should be good enough to wake somebody up. If you're gonna hit somebody, hit him in the stomach, or you leave no mark, hey, take the air out. I'm just saying, get out the way with.
You got to put a phone book. Boof. The
Yeah, real quick,
phone book.
bang,
Boof, boof.
take the air out. That's it. Oh, that's it. Nobody see nothing. Go home.
Yeah. I know quite a bit of people that need that. But hey, man, we're being positive over here, and I'm just trying to help the people, and I want to bring your story out to the public so they can hear the inside scoop on how you feel about the whole situation. And I'm glad that you got to share your experience. And is there any other people or anything you would like to say in closing?
Nah, people our age and generation, man, they need help. They need guidance, man. If you're a certain age over the 40s, late 30s, be that OG. Talk to these kids, man. These kids are smart nowadays. Look, when I need something to do, my daughter's 10. Here, fix this on my phone. Hey, invest in your kids' future, man. Tech, move them. We all blessed. Not everybody become world champion, you're a boy. But we all blessed with different talents in life. Explore them. Find yourself.
Yeah, because like
Believe in yourself. Think
if
you
you
can.
didn't have
Don't doubt
people
yourself.
believing in you, like how far would you have gone, right?
If I didn't believe in myself, what would I accomplish? It was harder for me. I had to be good because my father, Macho Camacho, it wasn't easy. I always had a finger pointed. Let me see what I could do. It was always tough for me, tougher. So my father was the macho man. I had that light on me. So I'm talking to you from a point of experience that I could talk to you about. It's not something I'm making up. I had that finger pointed at me. You was having that finger pointed on your life, and you got to fight.
I
Believe in
have, man.
yourself.
I was
If
the
you don't believe
white
in
kid
yourself,
in
nothing
prison, you
possible,
know?
brother. You gotta weave it, you gotta work, that finger's pointed.
I can't imagine the things you have to deal with going up in school and things.
A lot of cool things, man. At a young age, at a young age. It was cool things, it has a pros and its cons, But
Yeah.
the things that I didn't like was, oh, that's Camacho's son, yeah, you could fight. Oh, that's Camacho's son, look at his shoes. So it was a pressure, man. It was a pressure.
Did you have other kids that were like, that's Camacho's son? I want to be friends with him.
Oh, I had a bunch of those, but I had to pick who those were, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
was a very generous person. I still am. And that's another story. It plays more into my spiritual side. But as far as I should be the one, you know, because I was gifted. I used to be the one that buy all the kids in the store ices. Who want ices? I pay for it, you know, in the
Yeah.
neighborhood. I'm one of those type of guys, you know. If I was
Yeah.
blessed, I want the kids to come, you know. I always believe that what you give is what you get back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it had the pros and its cons, man. It was cool, but I liked it more when people didn't know who the hell I was. I could be me. I didn't have that finger pointed. They didn't know I'm cool. I'm comfortable. I'm me. So and they play the hard role, even at my fights when I first came up. I'm Camacho Jr. I got a crowd behind my father come. They all going with him. I like telling them stay with me. Everybody go over there with him. You know, it has its pros and its cons. You know what I'm saying?
And then I can't imagine how your opponent must have felt. Like, I'm fighting Camacho Jr. Like this, like with all those
Oh yeah,
people
yeah,
and everything.
yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's something else. That's another story. You know, it got to a point in boxing is a beautiful sport. What held me back with after the Leha fight, I got a headbutt. It was one of my biggest fight, HBO, and went to the scorecards, and they claimed me the winner. And people, oh, he coward out. He went to the scorecards. He had a cut. They stopped. After that, I seen the ugly side of boxing. The truth, boxing is an ugly sport. Ah, he ain't shit. He ain't that. And that I sort of lost the love for boxing. And then when I lost the love for the boxing, it just I disrespected the legacy because I just trained half-ass. I didn't really train. I jogged every day. I love to jog for the mindset, just for my peace of mind. But then if I train, and had that motivation to fight, I lost it due to the business side of boxing.
Yeah.
Definitely became over disrespect to legacy, fighting all fat. It was just disgusting boxing, dirty sport. But nah, man, it's not easy. But it's not easy. But yeah, keep punching always in life
Yeah.
and be real to
Definitely.
who you are.
I appreciate you taking the time for me, man.
I
I
appreciate you too,
really
but
do.
macho time. You need to fuck anybody up, just email me the address.
I got you, bro.
Macho time, brother. I appreciate you. God
Hey,
bless you,
yo,
brother.
before we go, it can you hold up that thing, the macho necklace, and say
Yeah, the
macho
necklace.
chop?
What time is
This
it? Macho time.
definitely, man. I appreciate you, bro.
You know
Is
how
there
it is,
anyone
brother.
you want to give a shout out to before we go?
There's a lot of people, man, I want to give thanks. I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for a lot of people who played the role in my life. My mother, you know, my father who's not here, rest in peace. My wife. There's a lot of people, my daughters. Um, I'm blessed. I'm thankful. There's a lot of people that played a big role in my life. Like you said, you know, it's you. But to get anywhere in life, you need a team. But there's a lot of people I'm blessed in life. It's too much to say right now, but I'm thankful. Thank you.
Definitely, man. I appreciate you taking the time. And I got a lot of projects in the works, and we'll link up in the future and get something going.
Always,
Definitely.
brother. Just keep me in
I
touch.
appreciate you. Thank
What
you.
time is it?
Macho time.
My man.
And
Thank
if
you,
you
brother.
like this interview, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. Till next time, Macho time.